We bring you the latest updates from the Pna Newsroom. The Senate on Tuesday evening ratified the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership or RCEP under Senate Resolution 485. Meanwhile, an oversight committee shall be created to address concerns of various sectors that will be affected by the free trade deal. Senate President pro tempore Loren Legarda, who co-sponsored the resolution, guaranteed that they will monitor the implementation of the agreement to allay the fears of micro, small, and medium enterprises and other sectors. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri meanwhile expressed confidence that the Senate made the right choice as the other countries have benefited from joining RCEP. He added the RCEP implementation will go hand in hand with developmental and capacity building programs of the government. The RCEP is the biggest free trade agreement between the ASEAN and its 5 FTA partners, namely Australia, China, Japan, New Zealand, and South Korea. The Philippines signed the RCEP in November 2020 and it entered into force on January 1st, 2022. Australian Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defense Richard Marles will meet with President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during his official trip to the Philippines this week. Marles arrived in Manila on Tuesday night for a one-day visit before leaving for Thailand the next day, February 23. This morning, Marles and Defense Officer in Charge Carlito Galvez Jr. held a press conference at Camp Aguinaldo, Quezon City. During their meeting, the two officials discussed defense cooperation and counter-terrorism. The Deputy Prime Minister will later meet with President Marcos Jr. to tackle the two nations' bilateral ties. In a statement, Marles affirmed that Australia's relationships across the region are founded on history, personal connections, and shared interests. He said he looks forward to the opportunity to deepen Australia's engagement with the Philippines and Thailand. The trip comes as Australia seeks to form a strategic partnership with the Philippines, as agreed by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese and Marcos at the 29th APEC Economic Leaders meeting last November. Australia earlier backed Manila in its diplomatic protest against China's aggression in Ayungin Shoal. Two House members are pushing for the passage of a bill legalizing marijuana or cannabis for medicinal purposes. House Bill 6783, filed by Davao del Norte Representative Pantaleon Alvarez, seeks to remove cannabis and any form of derivative from the list of dangerous drugs and substances. In a public hearing, Surigao del Norte's 2nd District Representative Robert Ace Barbers defended the bill, citing the many benefits of legalizing marijuana for medicinal use. While the Philippines Food and Drug Administration or FDA grants a special permit to use marijuana for its medicinal purposes, it is still listed as a dangerous drug in the Comprehensive Dangerous Drugs Act of 2002. As such, selling and possession of a prescribed amount could land someone in jail for a minimum of 12 years, making it impossible for cancer patients to acquire the needed amount for their treatment. Barber said that more and more countries have recently eased regulations on the use of marijuana for medicinal purposes. The Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, has distributed cash aid to the victims of the magnitude 6 earthquake that hit Davao de Oro on February 1st. DSWD Secretary Rex Gatchalian visited the Municipal Dome of Moncayo and the Compostela Municipal Gym on February 20 to lead the cash aid distribution for 1,110 quake victims. They received 3,000 pesos each under the department's Assistance to Individuals in Crisis Situation program. In his speech, Gatchalian assured the affected residents that the DSWD would continue to coordinate with their local government units to guarantee the fast delivery of services. Gatchalian also inspected several DSWD facilities, such as the new evacuation center in Barangay Poblacion, Compostela, which has already served over 3,100 households since its turnover on November 10 last year. And that is the latest and the biggest stories from the Pna Newsroom. For more news content, visit our webpage or head on to the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. We are also shown on the social media pages of the Presidential Communications Office and on Radio Pilipinas RP1. Stay tuned for more news updates. I am William Theo. We tell stories that inspire change.